Okay, that happened immediately. Oh, we're live. Okay. Check, 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 check. Okay, that. Cool. All right, whatever. So, I'm back. Been a hot minute. Usually is. I'm keeping that I'll show up whenever the hell I want to attitude about things. So, I'm still doing that. I'm showing up whenever I want to, and whatever. Uh, for this, I'm about to start recording this. What I'm doing today is nothing too complicated. I don't even know if I'm gonna be on for that long, because mostly I'm just trying to play some games that I'm pretty familiar with. I've been telling people that I'd like show them this and I'd show them that, and it's hard to explain how some games work to people who aren't familiar with the genre. So, and I'm gonna record this part. You can do it. Yay, recording. So, because things are complicated and it's hard to explain to someone how it all works, I'm not gonna bother telling them, oh, the game works like this. It's kind of like a card game. It's a game. It's a game. No. We're just gonna play the game, and now I'm going to have a video recording to be like, oh, you want to know what that game's like? There it is. That's the game. Starting off, my absolute favorite game of all time, Wild Frost. I'm gonna shut down that run. Sorry, friend. Run's over. And we are going to... so, since I'm assuming this is the first time anyone's ever seen this stuff, I'm probably deleting several of my streams. Some of the stuff that I say on this and that and that and this are things that I'm like, I'm not as entertained by my own streams. I'm removing a few. So I still needed stuff to be able to explain stuff, but I don't want to keep those old streams. Just because I don't care to. Especially since I'm just treating this stuff as like for fun. I don't want to have to do any of that. So, removing the old streams, making these new ones. Hi, I'm Weaver. If you're seeing this, you're one of the lucky few, because the stuff that I make appears and then disappears. If you look at my channel, you'll see very old videos of stuff that I made back when I was in university in 2020, 2022, earlier maybe. So it doesn't necessarily reflect the stuff that I'd create now. I'm just doing gaming stuff on stream sometimes. If you manage to catch me, I like stream once a year. So at some point, at some year, I might just appear. I don't warn anybody. I don't tell anybody. I just show up and do this. So welcome to the clown show. Uh Anyways, point of this though is to show you my favorite games. And this one is called Wild Frost. This game, I need to sit on this screen for a minute. I need you to hear this. I need you to hear this song. It's so good. I love Wild Frost soundtrack. It is incredible. It's one of my favorite things. So we're just gonna start off with that real quick. When you're playing Wild Frost, you have a village that you always come back to. If you played this for the first time, most of this stuff is locked. I have it unlocked. I've been playing this for as long as it's been out. So I'm just a huge fan, man. I could show you all of this, but I don't necessarily want to show you everything. Most of it's unlocks and stuff that you'll get over time about this and that. The most important two places is the gate and the blimp for two possible options. This is a roguelike. That is to say that it is a game where each time you do a run, all of your progress is reset. But you keep some upgrades and bonuses from prior runs. So, again, this is assuming that I'm talking to someone who's never played games like this before. So, all of these unlocks here, all of this, this is stuff that I got over time, when you see this stuff show up, it's stuff that I unlocked over time. I beat parts of the game, and I got a hold of these things. Now I have them available for future runs, future moments where I go into here, select whatever, I'm going to explain this in a second, and then enter a run and start playing the game. Because from the point forward where you're like, let's go, and we're just starting into it, that's it. Everything you do from that point forward is removable. The game will forget it. It will disappear. Gone forever. You fuck up, you die, game over. It sounds hard, and most of these games have been, but over time, because they've improved things, I say improvement, it depends on who you ask. Some people like the difficulty. But over time, they've made things easier and easier for the second time you play it and the third time you play it. You get better at the game, and you have a better time getting through sections. And when you get unlocks and stuff, when you get these fancy new cards, really helps a lot for getting further forward in the game. It's not necessarily as hard. This game in particular is fairly easy to beat once you understand how the game's mechanics work. When starting a run, you have some options to make the game more difficult, and the game is intended to be beaten without spoiling too much for a couple secrets and things. You need to be at the highest storm strength. Strength 10 to get a couple of achievements and possible things in the game that are only possible when you have all of the most difficult stuff. The difficulty bonuses and the stuff that's like beneficial bonuses here and there that you might run into are called bells. They all have different sounds to them too, which is nice. Once you've beaten the game at a certain difficulty, you can go into overcranked mode and activate every single difficulty bonus possible in the game. There's a way to beat the game at the highest possible difficulty and accomplish something that is nearly impossible otherwise. But doing that while on overcranked, and even playing on overcranked, does not net you any achievements. You gain nothing for this. It is only very, very difficult. It's one of my favorite achievements that I've ever accomplished in this game. But I can't prove it because I don't have any achievements or anything over it. So, take it or leave it. Add difficulty to the game through a couple of methods here and there. We're going to randomize. So, none of this will probably make sense to you watching for the first time. I'm not going to bother going too far into it, but we've got a couple of difficulty things. I'll explain them as I go. I can tell what I've got anyways. That's all just explaining how runs can change and kind of how all of that works, without actually explaining how it all works. Because I still haven't shown you actual gameplay yet. It would be impossible for me to do that without that. So, when playing the game, now that we're actually going to go into a run, with level 10 difficulty, the highest possible if you're not going for overcranked, which is level 22, I have to select a tribe. Each tribe option has 3 separate characters in it. They all have special bonuses when they're active. In this game, character cards have timers and counters on them. A counter has 5 of 5 there right now, yeah? 5 of 5. This number will go down over time. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the card activates and flips back to 5. So every turn, that counter goes down, and at the end of that counter, the card's effect happens. Barrage hits all targets in the row. So this is pretty simple. This character will attack with 5 damage to attack every single opponent in a row. Now, what does that mean exactly? It just means we're going to be hitting multiple targets with the 5 damage. Sounds pretty good. This character has an ability that doesn't trigger whenever the 5 is done. This character, Algun, has, when she is hit, apply 2 Shroom to the attacker. Deals damage every turn. Every turn, they're taking a bit of that damage. Now, there's some complications around this and that, so I'm not going to get too far into it. But she deals damage over time, and it's pretty good. It's alright, but it requires that she takes hits. She has a bunch of health. Characters that have when hit bonuses have a bunch of health to make up for that. Really nice little bonus there. Okay, I'm getting too deep in the weeds. So, but you get the point. We have different options here. They all look great. This tribe here has specific things that they tend to do. Shrooms is an option. They have a tendency to have healing options. Their characters will have heart bonuses and this and that. When you pick one of these, you are locked in to that tribe's card options. This is a Shademancer tribe thing. If I picked un momento, por favor. One second. Okay. Had to resolve that real quick. Apologies. To nobody. Nobody watches my streams. Obviously, because I never show up. Anyways, so different tribes, different things going on. So this tribe has a couple of bonuses like healing, like shroom damage, stuff like that. This tribe does have its own healing, but it doesn't have a lot of the healing card bonuses. So, like, Berry Blade, Berry Basket, Berry Bell, I don't know if this is a neutral one or if it's a tribe specific, but essentially, if you wanted some of these, you can't get them from if you're playing as one tribe versus another. So depending on which group you're playing as, you're not per se going to get every single option you'd want. So you have to pick kind of carefully. You're not just looking at what the leader can do. You're also looking at what specifically that tribe can do. And that makes it all the more fun. Excuse me. So, we're going to select one real quick. This will be our leader. If this character dies mid-fight, game over. That's how you lose. Anything else can happen, but if this leader's health doesn't reach 0, you're good. So then, who do we want to play? I'm going to play my favorite. I'm going to play Shademancers. They have abilities that put new little summons on the board. So we're just going to play as them and try that. Let's see. Zeus restores health, which would be really good for summons. Because summons slowly lose health over time, so that you can't keep them on the board constantly. But if you have a character that literally heals characters, then they get to stay on the board longer, assuming that they don't get attacked and lose their health anyways. The problem is that he has a 6-turn counter, which is crazy, but characters have a tendency to counterbalance having higher health, higher attack, and a better ability on the card by having a higher counter. So if you end up randomly getting a character with lower health or lower attack and still this ability, you might have gotten a 4 counter. Would have been great. We didn't get that. Hamless is rough though. The Smackback, this card only attacks on reaction. It doesn't have a turn. So I literally have to sit there and wait for someone to attack Alzu. If I play as them, this is a bad lineup. This sucks. Well, hold on. You're getting ×3 attack. So Frenzy, when the counter goes down to 0, this character attacks 3 separate times. It does the effect on the card 3 separate times. It does everything 3 times in a row. It would be pretty good, but I also know that in the future of the game, that's actually going to be a negative than a positive. We're going to have to work with the long turn counter. I'm so sorry, Zeus. This is going to suck for you and me both. To support him, since he's not going to be active all of the time, now we get to select our pet companion. This character is your first ally that you get. You get other allies later, not summonable ones, but all tribes get other allies later that they get to have on their side. I am going to select the first partner. The pet partners are weaker than most characters. They're not going to be as good. I'm going to select Bushu, because Bushu has a 5 counter, which is slightly faster than my 6 counter. Still deals significant damage, lower health than some of the other options, but because it's a 5 counter, he'll heal before I get a chance to heal. And then he'll start his counter again faster, and these two will never be healing at the same time, but we'll get up to 6 healing to all allies twice. Twice every 6 rounds. Is not bad. I just have to figure out how to manage that a bit better. Now, we've selected our tribe. We entered the map. And we chose our first destination. You don't actually get to pick your destination. It's a straight line. Eventually you'll be able to pick it. But for this part, you always end up in a fight somewhere. Welcome to your first fight. I'm going to take my leader first and place him on the board. This is a row. This is a row. They are all on the same row. They have counters. When those counters hit 0, this character will apply 1 frost, temporarily reduces attack. While active, add +1 to all allies. So, during its turn, it will apply 1 frost to whoever is the front of this row, dealing 2 damage. And while he's alive, every other character gets extra damage. While active, add +1 to all allies. Same for this guy. This guy doesn't have a counter. He has smack back. When he gets hit, he'll hit you back. So, I'm looking at this board. I'm looking at my hand. We're going to decide how we're going to play this. I don't like the idea of my leader getting attacked. So I'm going to summon a Junjun. And we're going to boost the maximum health of both of those, which also heals them slightly. I get to attack first, so before their counter ends... Never mind, they attack first, I forgot. It's been a hot minute. We're gonna do a bit of this. Smackback ignores the front of the line, immediately hit me. But we were able to heal the Junjun for all of the health that it had lost earlier. You there, swing that. I am now going to proceed to stop explaining myself. If I explained myself the entire time, it would be kind of boring. And honestly, I've seen my past streams. That's actually part of why I wanted to do this again on stream, because I hated how it looked. I just ended up explaining myself the whole time. Whereas actually me just sitting here playing the game, way faster. No reason to bother. I may explain myself here and there, but for the most part, this is what it feels like to play Wild Frost. Escapes the scene. Okay, let's get some healing going. Speed up Bushu. Barrage is going to be pretty brutal. I need Bushu to act before anybody else dies. And he can if he's in the line of fire. The one on the farthest end acts first, so he gets to act first. I completely missed the fact that I was about to win that fight, so I didn't need to do that. Well, alright. Here's the second part of the game. So I've kind of explained combat works a bit like this and that. It's more complicated than all of that, but at this point you should understand what you're looking at. Not really. Kinda. You should understand at the very least that the game plays by playing cards and having your characters on the board slowly attack over time. Some of the stuff that happens in combat is passive, and some of the stuff that happens in combat is the stuff that you're playing out of your hand. Now, what I've got is a few options. Frozen Travelers, if I go here, I can break through the ice and free companions that will join me on my journey. They'll act similar to my pet companion. If I go down this way, I get charms. Charms help me upgrade cards. Gnome Traveler, that's a merchant. I'd have to buy stuff from him. I don't have a lot of money. Oh no, wait, no. The Gnome Traveler makes you get junk in your hand. I can't really use junk. Junk is a type of card. And if you get junk in your hand, drawn as a card into your hand, then you don't pick up a different card. You get a useless nothing card in your hand. Which is why you wouldn't want to do that. We have a molten egg charm. Now, if we go to my deck and in my inventory, I could take this molten egg charm and put it on one of these. So, +5 damage. I could put it on Blizzard Bottle, and it would gain +5 attack on whatever I place it on. It gains Consume. Can only be used once per battle. What that means is, if I put it on Blizzard Bottle is permanently consumable. When I use it and attack for 5 damage and apply 3 snow, I'm also losing the card for that battle. It is consumed. It's gone. For that fight, you no longer have that card. So then I'd lose the ability to apply 3 snow for the rest of the fight. That would suck. I'm not sure where I want to put that yet, so I'm going to hang on to it. And we'll try and put it on later. I can always open the bag and look at all of this stuff later. And my charms are right here on this ring. Got myself some bling. Blings are money in this. I have 119 bling. Little cute things like that are my favorite. Frozen Travelers. We have just discovered some Frozen Travelers. We're going to go ahead and open that up. Let's take a look. So these are our options. Bonnie, restore 2 health and cleanse when her counter's done. The Baker, add 1 Skull Muffin to your hand and spark. Skull Muffins are kill an ally, Zoomland, consume. So this thing can be played for free and my turn doesn't end. Each turn, I only get to play 1 card at a time. And that's my way of altering the flow of battle and winning my fights. A turn is spent playing a card. Skull Muffin has Zoomland, so it's free. But it's kill an ally. Because I'm the Shapemancer group, sometimes there's a benefit to killing an ally. I don't like doing it, though. And I also went for a restore health option. Like, I'm constantly supposed to be healing my allies here. Killing them off randomly doesn't really... It isn't synergistic. Healing my allies so that I can kill them doesn't benefit me. They don't work in tandem right now. There's no reason to have Skull Muffins. So I don't really need the Baker here. Big Berry. On kill, restore 2. So he's gonna heal characters to himself and allies in the row, not all allies, but whoever's nearby. Restore 2 hit points and cleanse all allies. Cleanse, remove negative status effects. All good. We do have a fair amount of damage, so I'm not worried that she can't deal any. Plus, she'll keep herself out of harm's way, and I can just kind of keep her to the back, not worry as much. I'd like better if I could knock out opponents, though, and Big Barry can do that. And he has a huge health pool. Not the biggest health pool. Not the biggest, the largest. But, like, he's got a pretty fair health pool. And attack 5 damage, nothing to sniff at. They're all going to be pretty slow. There's still 4, counter 4 options. We really want someone who's a fast counter 3 option, because right now all of our passive effects are happening way too slowly. Thankfully our summons are quicker, but they aren't. You know what? I am going to go with Bonnie. I love having her in an entire row, healing everybody. Quick side note, if you've beaten the game in a certain fashion, cards get the gold surrounded, surrounding there. That is actually a sign that I've beaten the game in a special ending with those characters. It is the highest of praise that you can have. I still haven't successfully gotten Bushu golded, so I'd like to see if I could do that this run. I just don't know that I want to add the Molten Egg Charm on anything. I feel like no matter what I add it to, it's gonna be pretty bad, honestly. And nah, I think I'm gonna skip that. I think we're just gonna go to the next fight. Alright. And as before, I'm not gonna explain myself through here, unless it's important. So here we go. Yeah, that's a problem. No. Okay, that's gonna hit the entire row. We don't want that. Okay, cool. Heal the row. That's fine. I'm glad he took the damage instead of somebody else. Swing. Okay. He's about to heal, so even if we're taking 3 damage here, we're good. Swing! Bada bada bada. Alright. Very nice. I like where we're at. The Ringer's not a hard boss. He deals a fair amount of damage, but he's not tough. I'm not really worried about this guy. I've kicked harder asses. Cleanse as well, so he didn't end up losing any damage that he would be dealing right now. We're about to get the health back from Bushu. We're not really losing enough health at this point. Just because I don't want to be slowed down with the snow there. The Ringer is about to hit. That's a fair amount of damage. Bonnie can take it, and it will be harder to heal her over time, but she's not taking damage for a while. There's no one that can hit the back line anymore. We just knocked out the only opponent that could. So if I just move her back there now, and we're going to get 6 hit points back with those two, not really worried about her dying out. She'll be fine. Nice. He's going to take some damage, but then we're going to get cleansed soon enough. Summon another Jun. At this point, I think that we want some passive. I'm actually going to skip my turn to redraw my cards. Skip turn again, redraw cards. Jun dies, but we're not even worried about that because we just summon another one. Do it again. There's not enough opponents on the board, and because of this deck type, where it's all about summoning more allies, they can't take me out. They can try. They're not going to manage to do it, but they can try. You know what, let's even keep them on the board. Let's be nice. Bop. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Alright. Let's see. Right, I should explain at least a little bit. Treasure option gets you new cards each time. Get to select 1 of 3. Basic roguelike stuff. If you played roguelikes before, this is very familiar to you. Killing an enemy also counts as sacrificing an ally. So for characters and things that require sacrifices, I can use this to kill an enemy instead of having to sacrifice an ally. That helps, but only if I had sacrifice options. I don't. This card is weird. You're both dealing double damage to an opponent and healing them. But if they're max health and you use this on them, you get to deal double damage to them. And you don't actually heal them at all. So it's just good altogether. Nothing wrong with it. Alternatively, if my allies need healing, like a lot of it, 9 healing is nothing to sniff at. And since I do have a character that has cleanse as an option, that does mean that we can also get the demonize removed by her as soon as somebody would have taken damage. So if I'm careful, I can actually use this as a proper healing option. If my healing's coming in too slowly and I'm not able to handle a hit, I just go, nope, drop this on real quick. That'd be nice. It's not winning me the fight, though. I'm not really getting a lot of cards that are winning me battles here. I'm not getting an objective done here. So far, what we have is delay death, delay death, delay death. Okay, blank mask, summon a copy of an ally. That can be good, but we don't have allies that win the fight, so we just would be doing more healing. Here's the thing. We have a bunch of low health allies. We have 4 health, and our leader is 8, which is okay. But our summons, the Juns, are 3 health as well. And we can use them to stop opponents from hitting, but if someone hits twice and deals more than 3 damage, that can kill a summon, hit the next person, and they're all dead. That's what's really tripping me up here. I really don't have options. I have a bunch of healing going on for no one with high health. they aren't very survivable against big attacks, and I don't have a lot of damage dealing that's going to do more. I have to figure out how to fix that right now. Oh, it's aimless too. See, Frostbloom might have actually fixed that, because I'm realizing now that that would be great. Having Frost on an opponent, lowering their attack for their next hit by 3 could save my butt. But it's aimless. If I hit someone on a row, I could hit any of the enemies on that row. Not allies, thankfully, but I could accidentally hit anybody, and that doesn't help. Allies can be played for free, so I can play allies and then I can summon a character. Not bad. Still not great. We do need more summon options, because at this point we need shields. We're gonna have to start treating them as shields at this point, so... I still don't like... Taiga! No! She has a demonized charm on her! Oh, my favorite. She's my favorite, though. Why would you do this to me? Ah! My beloved, why? The cute tiger girl, and I can't pick her. I don't know how to tell you how sad I am. She's exactly what we needed. Every time someone hits her, she deals teeth damage to them. So she's able to end fights by taking damage, which is what we wanted. And she has higher health. But she has demon eyes on her, and she starts with it every time. Technically it'd disappear partway through the fight, but possibly not before she's already taken a hit. That's so sad. Wait. No. But wait. Stay with me here. Stay with me. Demon Heart. We're already planning to have some demon eyes on the field, right? And this heals 9 health. That's like her full health. Immediately heal. Blank Mask duplicates a character, right? So stay with me. We're duplicating a character, which could be her. So she doesn't have to be on a front line. A summoned copy of her can be there instead. If I can keep both alive, then we have 2 shields on either row, blocking the entire line. She has a negative to it, but the benefits are really good, actually. Nova works best when we have other block characters on. And we didn't get Blunky earlier. We have Blunky now. I'm not going to get repeats of these characters. They never show up again. If I don't pick them now, they're not going to show back up. I gotta pick Kaya. I don't care if she's knocked down. I'm biased. I want to pick Taiga. That's my girl right there. Hello. It's the shopkeeper. I also like her too. I like all of the characters in this game. They don't have a lot of character to them. They just appear and then disappear. Bebop summon. You'll see how that's helpful later. Absolutely want that. Crown would be really good. At that first part of the game where you like put your leader on the board, anything with Crown can be put on the board immediately. So I wouldn't have to wait for any other characters to show up either. It's really good. But Charms improving a character fundamentally is better. Sometimes this is important, because if something's just so pivotal that you have to have it at the start of a fight, You get the crown. You'll suck it up, and you'll do it anyways. I don't need to. We're doing this my way. Okay. Let's see. So we've got Greed Charm. For every amount of money we have, a character can deal some extra damage. For every 50 blings we have 0 right now. But over time, that's still going to be pretty good. I'd say it'd be consistent damage if we put it on them, but they're pretty slow to attack. And I don't want to make Taiga start attacking opponents, because then she might take damage from monsters that have teeth. So instead, we only want her to be taking damage when she's intended to, and never any other time. So I'm going to add it to the Tar Blade. While they do gain additional damage for however many Tar Blades are in your hand, with the Greed bonus, this might have natural damage dealing on its own, and then can be boosted by other Tar Blades, which gives us some options to be able to knock someone out a lot more quickly. Zoomland Consume. Yeah. So no matter what, we're going to be consuming a couple of our cards. At this point, I might just have to suck it up and prep some cards to be lost. Demon Heart isn't going to be useful in all situations. And most of the time it'll end up sticking around in my hand. But making it fast to play might save my life. So if it becomes a save my life option that I need to do on that turn for that one moment, then even if it consumes it for good, it'll be handy. Plus, then we're not getting it in our hand again later and not sure how to use it. Like, how do I put this on the board? It's going to demonize my allies and it's going to heal the enemy. Most of the time it won't be handy, but for that one time that you desperately need it, it is a godsend. So let's keep it that way. Yeah, and let's make Blizzard Bottle a heavy hitter, so that I'm only using that when I desperately need it. Now we're more likely to get Tar Blades, which help me deal damage more effectively. Or we get Summons, which will help us get characters on the board and make sure that we're never in danger of losing one of our lower health characters. I think that all works together. I just can't be sure. Alright. This is our first true boss fight. Earlier, we fought bosses on each level. This is a true boss fight. This opponent has multiple phases and a lot of difficulty to get through. If I'm able to defeat him, I'll get a hold of a huge benefit. But only if I manage to beat him. The biggest problem is he hits all enemies, which I'm realizing now is a huge problem. Even in the back row, Bonnie is going to take damage. That's pretty bad. Oh my gosh, and you have that to start? I should have been paying more attention earlier. I know, we wanted to use this on her, but I don't think we can. We didn't get a hold of her early enough in the fight. Oh, he's aimless. He could... Oh, we're in a bad place. Hold on. Okay. This guy's gonna deal insane damage. I need him knocked out ASAP. If I can't kill him fast enough, he's just gonna wipe my entire crew. Oh wait, but they're attacking at the same time now. I can help him, but these two are assuredly going to die. I can only save one, and if we want to keep fighting... Godspeed, soldier. Fuck! Oh, bad. Okay, We're working. Okay. In 2 turns, you're gonna knock out one of my guys. But I can force him into knockout, yeah. But then you're aimless, and you're gonna end up doing that if that doesn't... Can't fix that. Okay. Try this. I haven't been able to knock out a single opponent. I'm thinking. Okay. Good luck. Ah! Oh, I should have moved him to the upper row. Ah. Ah. And that's Wild Frost. So that's how Wild Frost ends sometimes. No! Oh, I'm so sad. That's how Wild Frost plays. That's how it goes. And then you end up back here. If you haven't finished upgrading everything here, you get an opportunity to start upgrading stuff. If you've made accomplishments during your runs, you'll occasionally get new charms that'll show up in a run. I think I've unlocked every charm available in the game at this point. But the roguelike element, having to restart every run from scratch, not necessarily fun, but you get new upgrades, you get new pet companions that can join you on your journey. Little Gazi! Or Bushu! Or any of the little guys. And you get, different tribes are actually unlockable. You start with only the Snow Dwellers. But then you can get Shademancers, the group that I just played as. And you can play the Clunk Masters. Just depending on what you're looking for in a run. You get new cards, you get new stuff. It's fun. So each run is still unique and special. Technically, I didn't gain anything permanent. So if I start another run again, I don't have any of the same leaders available. I don't have any of the same options here. I'm not gonna play a full run, but I'm gonna essentially choose another option. But let's say that I didn't like something. So some cards, card rewards will have cursed charms. Remember how I was so sad that my favorite character companion had a cursed charm on her? That was this one. I don't want to play with that one again. I'm so mad. Oh, that wouldn't even save the run. It was exactly as I thought. We weren't attacking fast enough. Not enough damage was being dealt. We didn't have options to knock out our opponents, so they gathered around us too quickly and took us out. Um, yeah, no. So we learn new things, we try again, and we get to try everything all over again. If I had picked some different options, I might have been able to save that run. Heck, if I had even bothered to put my leader further up, I might have been able to save that run. We had the Bell of Death. So when a character is knocked out like that or killed in a round, that isn't your leader, they come back injured while this bell is active. In the early days of the game, this wasn't a bell. That was just how the game worked. The Bell of Death was always available, and every time a character gets knocked out, they'd be injured. This made some characters really weak in comparison to others as a result of that. So, eh. But if we wanted to play a more casual run, we don't have to add any of those bells. We can just turn them off, pick a character we like, you, and play as is, if that's what you wanted to do. We play again, we start from the beginning, and because that happened so fast, you're in another game almost immediately. Didn't take too long to play, didn't take too long to finish. All said and done. It took a bit longer. I'm seeing that I was streaming for an hour, but it took me about 15 minutes to actually get into a game. So maybe only like 45 minutes on a run. But that was also a run where I was explaining everything to you the entire way through. So, not too different. Not that crazy. We are going to pause real quick. I'm going to go ahead and swap games because I have different ones to show you. So just a moment while I do that. While Frost is going to disappear for a second, apologies. Please enjoy the big blue blank screen while I pull up the next game. Now, games like Wild Frost are based off of a game that I'm sure everyone's heard of. And if you haven't, well, you just haven't really played video games all that much. That's fine. And if you have played video games a lot and still haven't heard of this, it's probably because you're not into the indie scene or something. It's another roguelike. I believe my screen should capture this. Do we see? Are we visible? There we go. This is Slay the Spire. Let's go ahead and get some sound up in here. Usually I play my own music when I play several of these games. With Wild Frost, I love the game's soundtrack, so I don't mind not necessarily playing music on that one. But this is another game that I like. This is our next one on the list. Most games like Wild Frost are because Slay the Spire exists. Slay the Spire invented it. This is the new edition of the game, but it's not too different from the original. Uh, so I wouldn't say it's too far off from what you do there. Today we will play as the Defect because he's my favorite. Let's see. To start each run, you talk to Niall. or one of the other people that help you along your journey. We're going to go ahead and... This game is played with a card deck, similar to the other one. Cool? Cool. We play cards, but in this case, our leader is our only character. In the other game, all of the other characters were cards that you can play and whatever. Now, this guy's just active the whole time. He's also the only person that can be attacked. That game, Wild Frost, what is special about it is that you can have other characters on the board. Passive stuff happens throughout the fight that you can mess around with. That kind of a thing. Slay the Spire doesn't have that option. We're going to go ahead and do... It would be nice to have an extra potion slot and remove some of the difficulty of the run. So I'm going to pick potion slot as my first item. And we're going to pick a path to go on. Wild Frost also took this from Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire has these routes that show you everywhere you're going to go. In Wild Frost, you don't know exactly where you're going to land. But with Slay the Spire, I can see the entire route ahead. And I can plan where I want to go based on what I'm seeing. Elites are like mini-bosses. Tougher fights in general. These little guys, they're regular fights. Regular enemies that you'll run into. You get rewards from both, but elites are going to give you better rewards. Rest, this is a little campfire spot. And at these campfires, you can get a couple of upgrades. You can do a bit of healing, stuff like that. It's nice. Unknown, these can be fights. These can be a rest spot. They can be a merchant. They can be literally anything. Sometimes they're random events that give you special bonuses that are impossible to get anywhere else. So they're not bad, just because you can't tell what they are, but they are pretty random. If you're not ready to take any risks, you might not want to go there. Treasure spots, obviously, those just have nice stuff that you'll get throughout the run. I'm pretty sure I want to go down this middle route, so we're going to go this way. Game starts like this. I have 3 energy. Each of these cards costs energy. 1 energy on each of these. This is a curse card. I can't play it, can't do anything with it. So this is just going to have to disappear from my hand. I'm going to go ahead and play Strike, Strike, Strike. There you go. That's the game. This is Slay the Spire. You play cards, you attack enemies. And sometimes they shrink you to the size of an ant. Though maybe that's just this boss. It is just this boss, I think. Actually, I wouldn't know. I haven't played Slay the Spire 2 enough, and it's still in early beta. They're still testing it. So while you can buy it and have the full game when it comes out, like I have, it isn't necessarily complete yet. So a lot of the stuff that we're doing right now might eventually be changed or altered over time. To explain part of what's happening, lightning is attacking the enemy. Where's that coming from? Little lightning orbs here will passively, at the end of each of my turns, attack an opponent. I like passive things that happen without me having to do stuff. I like setting things up and making it happen. It's why I like Wild Frost quite a lot, because with the counters and stuff that's going on there, I'm able to set up a counter card on the board, and then slowly but surely it'll attack an opponent and it'll do stuff. I think that that's pretty fun. The defect, his specific ability is that he's able to summon these orbs. He has other options and things that he can do with his cards, but the orbs are passive abilities that, if he evokes them, will remove the orb from his passive slots, and also do the stronger, more powerful thing that it does. This lightning orb, when evoked, deals 8 damage. So I'm going to use Dual Cast, evoke my rightmost orb twice. It also shows me over here. on top of that orb. Look at that. It has 8 by it, so it's telling me what it's going to do and what the number is going to be when I evoke it. If it had lived long enough, it would have done that twice. I had him on the ropes. So now, just like in Wild Frost, I get some card options. After a fight, unlike in Wild Frost, I only get a few card options. The enemies in this are not as difficult. Wild Frost has enemy after enemy after enemy after enemy attacking you constantly. But you also heal after every fight. In this game, I don't heal. I have 75 maximum hit points, and 57 hit points are all that I have left now, because I did a poor job of fighting that enemy, if we're being honest. I am dying slowly, and if I don't successfully get to a rest spot, or finish all of this floor, I won't get any healing. So any damage I take is pretty bad, in general. If you healed before every fight would be a breeze. That'd be no problem. It'd be easy. But that's not what happens in Slay the Spire. You're carefully checking every single thing that you're doing. Because if you're not careful, you're dead. Similar to the other game, this is a roguelike too. So dying in this means losing all of your progress. Everything you just did, gone. So I'm picking and choosing stuff. I can't really kill the enemy right now if I use dual cast, but he's pretty close to dead. I can see what he's planning to do here. If I hover over the thing over his head, it tells me what he's doing. He's about to buff himself. Okay, he's going to give himself a boost of some kind. But I can kill him next turn as long as that boost isn't going to stop me. He gained strength. His damage dealing all deals +2. So what would be a 12 power attack is now a 14 power attack. That doesn't mean too much, but remember, every bit of health that I lose is permanent. So even little bits of health that I'm losing add up later. 2 points of health in the long term? Yikes! That's what Slay the Spire does well. You have to think real hard about what you're choosing to do. Actually, this is a pretty good chance to explain this. This card uses 2 energy, uses a bit more. It's a power. When you play a power card, that card affects you for the rest of the game. If I gained 7 block, I'd lose it after a turn. If next turn I gained 1 energy, I'd lose the energy after that turn. But power... Now power, that stays with me the entire time. The entirety of the time that I am fighting that specific battle, it sticks. I lose 1 orb slot, so I lose one of those passive slots that I was using to use lightning for free, dealing 3 damage every turn. But I gain 2 strength. All of my attacks deal an additional 2 damage. And I gain 2 dexterity. All of my block, the things that I'm using to stop opponents from being able to hit me, defending my health bar like my life depended on it, because it does. That helps with that. It helps with both ending the fight more quickly and defending yourself more quickly. So the question is, do I want passive abilities, or do I want some extra bonuses for the stuff I do choose to do? Because of this, you're changing your character fundamentally. He's supposed to have orbs. That's his whole thing. So you are fundamentally changing how the character plays by doing this. Entirely. You're making a choice that, okay, but I can make my attacks and defense so good, do I need the passive ability anymore? That's what you're deciding with that. Charge battery. Gain block. Plus energy, so I'd be able to use more cards the next turn. Because I'd have more energy to play them. Barrage. Deal 5 damage for each channeled orb. The passive orbs are channeled when you put them in that slot and they start doing their passive stuff. When they are evoked, they are no longer channeled. They are being channeled while they're actively using their passive abilities. So Barrage would only work for how many I have those. So I could go for more passive stuff. And I deal additional damage for every single passive thing that I have. There's only 3 of them, so the maximum damage that I can deal with this Barrage is 15 for now. If you can lose orb slots, you can gain them too. So that's not bad. But it's not game-changing. I think... I do really like Charge Battery, though. I think I'm going to use this. I don't have a lot of powerful options, and that's a game changer. That can possibly give me the ability to start winning. Ooh. Okay, our first choice. The Sunken Statue. You spot an aged statue, half submerged in a pond. Its hands gently rest atop a stone sword. Something is also glittering at the bottom of the pond. Votive offerings, perhaps? You could really use the money. We could either take the money and lose 7 HP, or we can take the Sword of Stone. It says that it turns into a different relic after defeating 5 elites. I'm interested to see what it does. So right now this doesn't do anything, but if I defeat 5 elite opponents, it'll do something. I've never figured out what this does, so I'm going to see if we can find out what happens. You wrest the sword out of the statue's hands, and the whole thing crumbles apart. It's too dangerous to pick up whatever was glittering at the bottom of the pond now. Inspecting the sword, you sense an incredible dormant power within. Very cool. Making your way through a hollow of dead trees, you happen upon a single bone-white tree. Clay baubles hanging off its branches, which curve inward like protective ribs. Such a creepy tree, it whispers, "Make exchange." Exchange gold. Lose 29 gold. Procure 2 random potions. Hug the tree. Lose 9 HP. Choose a card to transform. So, the cards that I have are not necessarily great. They're just the starting cards. Sorry. And I have this curse card. I could try to get rid of that, but it's eternal. It doesn't let you transform or remove a card from my deck. But if I transform some of these basic cards, it's gonna be better than the card I currently have. So that's pretty good, actually. The 2 potions, I've already got 2 potions, and I only have a slot for 1 more. So I might as well do this, and losing a bit of HP is rough, but just don't get hit. Let's remove a strike. Let's see what it gives me. Defragment, you're kidding me. I just picked Bulk Up. So defragment adds focus. Focus increases the effectiveness of orbs. What does that mean? Remember those numbers earlier? How much damage does it deal each time? Each turn, it'll deal damage based off of... So, lightning deals damage to an opponent for, 3. It deals 3 damage to an opponent passively. If I have Focus on, though, now it deals 4 damage every turn. That's pretty nice. Passively every turn. Oh my gosh, if only I hadn't gotten Bulk Up. Gain 2 strength, gain 2 dexterity. Because now I'm losing one of those slots that could deal 4 damage every turn for the sake of dealing 2 additional, maybe on a turn. Now it feels fully. That was useless to me. Or this is useless to me. Both are useless to me. If I use one, I can't be using the other. Pain! That sucks, dude. Ah. Go to the merchant. Let me get rid of something. Yeah. I'm gonna get rid of a card. Pay 100 of the gold coins to get rid of Strike at this point. The focus is really nice. I'm just gonna keep focusing on that then. Because screw everything else. This all sucks. Dang it. I could make Bulk Up more worth it, but then that ruins Defragment. What am I supposed to do with this game? I need options to gain orbs now. That's pretty much the only way that this fixes itself, is that I either do that or I get rid of one of these. Yeah, no, you're right. I picked Focus Strike earlier. I never should have picked Bulk Up to begin with. Because that already... Yeah. Okay, do we heal for 30% of max HP? It's 22 hit points. Or do we upgrade a card? It's got to be one of the 2 powers, because that's the game changers. That's what's going to make my deck worth it. Defragment, it's going to be worth it if we... I like the passives. We're just going to try and go with the passives. My gosh, that sucks. I'm going to lose 4 hit points, but that's like really weak. Jobber garbage is... You know what? I'm not using the other slot. There. Smack him harder. There is one benefit to this that I'm realizing. If I try to channel a third Zap, a third Lightning, into one of these slots, there's no room for it. So if I do that, it evoked my rightmost orb and replaced the back one. So I got evocation way quicker because there's only 2 orbs to cycle through. That works, actually. And if I get Lightning Rod here, which allows me to channel lightning passively over multiple turns and block for 1 turn. Okay, I'm starting to see how this can work. I think... Yeah, I think we can work with this, but we're just gonna... It's gonna suck. This is gonna be rough. First time you play this card, each combat gain 1. Okay. Let's do that with Defragment, so that we can play it for free. Because if we gain 1 energy after playing 1, that helps. At the start of each boss combat, heal 25 HP. Nice. So if I'm going into a boss with low health, I don't have to worry about that as much. Use Lightning Rod to block some of this damage coming in. We still don't have enough block to do everything. But at the very least... Okay. Defragment. I get the energy back. Bulk Up. Remove an orb slot. We don't have any defense. I mean, I guess I haven't been focusing on that at all, have I? No, yeah. We're gonna keep taking damage at this rate. We need to get some block options. I guess I haven't explained block. Block is like one of the fundamental things in the game. I get 6 block. Before my hit points go down, they have to go through the 6 block. Now I have 13 block. They have to go through 13 beforehand. That's how it works. It's not complicated. Okay. Dealt 10 damage by evoking an orb. Blocked all the damage. Still took the effect of the attack, despite the fact that I blocked it. But what are you going to do? Yeah, and then I can end the fight, and I don't even have to try to block that hit. Makes it a lot easier. Gain focus this turn. Free card to play, but only gain focus this turn. And I'm not really having issues with having cards too expensive. So I'm not worried about that. Uproar, deal 5 damage twice. With bulk up, I'm actually dealing 7 damage twice because I get +2. So that's way more. And I get to play a random attack from the draw pile, which will also be boosted by +2. That's pretty good. I think we can work with that. It's just expensive to play. I want to upgrade some cards. I know I need to fight more elites. Actually, I haven't fought one yet. I'm still dying out, and I haven't fought one. I'm not playing very good. I never play good on stream. When I'm having to talk to you, or anybody else who I'm streaming to, I usually end up struggling with, like, well, thinking too hard about this, and that, and also trying to talk at somebody, blah, 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 and I play poorly. I'm not a very good stream and also play. Like, it's amazing that there are people out there who can figure out how to both talk and play at the same time. They impress me all of the time. Give me that, do that. 1, 2, and hit. Dead, got him. I had to use a potion. I was dying. I'm still doing very badly. There's no defense in this. Do I get Tempest? Because then I can evoke a ton of orbs all at once. That's a lot of energy. We don't have anything that gives us frost. Yeah, Tempest. I'm at a loss for options here. I'm just not doing well. Make Uproar more worth it. That's not bad. Make Lightning Rod more worth it. That's really good. Tempest could be played with 0 and still be able to play it like Zap. That's not bad. Let's do Lightning Rod. I'd like to have higher defense. That ups my block and gives me options. Alright, we've only got 94 to play with here. Ooh! Gain block equal to damage. Fisticuffs. 1 energy. It deals more damage than a regular strike. And plus our bulk up, that's actually going to deal more damage. But if the opponent blocks any of it, then yeah, it's not going to be as good. Ice Lance wouldn't be bad. Yeah, but it's too expensive. What else do we have? We could start channeling Frost. Yeah, but that passive amount isn't going to be a lot. The way that I'm going with this I'm not building up enough passive defense to be able to do anything. And because my passive abilities are less and less, because I have less orb slots, I can't plan to be like, oh, I'll just get a ton of frost, which adds block to your character, and then get some free block every single turn, and it'll work out great. I'm still gonna have to spend on block in order to make up the amount that I'm losing because I don't have as many passive slots. So at the end of the day, aiming for the passive stuff isn't going to be as good. Having lightning occasionally dealing damage ends the fight faster, but if I want to survive, I think we just need raw block. Pure stop the damage abilities. And I think Fisticuffs is better for that. With the last game, I didn't have to explain nearly as much, but with this one, it's complicated. Even going through a single turn, considering how many cards you have to play, there's a lot more to consider. With Wild Frost, sometimes you're having to consider what multiple enemies and allies are doing, so there's something to that. But... oh, come on! It did... okay. It's okay. Dang it! You also can't choose where the passive attacks. So if it hits the wrong target, whoops. Sucks to be you, bud. I need to block. I don't know per se that I'm actually gonna be rescued from the hits I'm about to take. There we go. The enemy hit me with vulnerable a bit ago, so they're dealing 150% the damage that they normally would. I'm having to compensate for that a little bit. Okay, we're alive. Plasma wouldn't be bad, but we are using focus, and plasma doesn't help with that. Plasma, every turn, you gain an extra energy. That's its passive ability. Evoking it gives you 2 extra energy for the turn it's been evoked. But otherwise, it doesn't do much. And the thing about this one is, focus doesn't improve it. It doesn't add energy that you gain. So it's good, it just not necessarily life-changing. But I am actually now struggling with getting energy, and considering that my passive options are going to be evoked constantly, it wouldn't be bad to have something new and interesting in the mix. And because I could upgrade it there, now I have an additional... now it's easier to play for cheaper. I know I didn't heal. That seems scary, but I got Pantograph earlier. So against an actual boss, not an elite, but an actual boss, I gained 25 hit points, so I'm not doing bad right now. I'm not as scared of this. Now, after this boss, I am going to get a huge heal, about 80% of my health. So if I lose some hit points because I'm trying to end the fight faster, it's not as bad of a thing. I forgot that this guy has Slippery. I should have looked at him. He's only going to take 1 hit point of damage every time he takes damage, until Slippery is gone. Fisticuffs won't heal me right now, because it can't deal enough damage. I just need to hit him enough times so that Slippery goes away, and we can actually start this fight properly. Losing some hit points in the process is going to be fine, I think. That's a nasty attack. That's 27 damage. I knew it was coming. Not much we can do, so que sera, sera. Okay. Slippery is done. My opponent no longer has that, making him nearly invincible. He gave me some wounds. These are cards that I can't play. So, ouch. Yeah, but now Fisticuffs works. Oh yeah, there you go. I mean, I can heal for any damage that he deals me, so I'm just gonna Uproar. Hit him as hard as I can. Smack him with an attack. I don't want to evoke Plasma yet. Because now it's evoked on its own this turn. So now I have 5 energy, and I can summon Lightning 5 times. That's 50 damage in 1 turn. But I'd be using all of my energy to do that, and he is about to attack me. Do I want to do that? Yes, I do, because I have the potions up there, and one of them lets me get my energy back. So, energy back. Ooh. Yeah, that gets him. He's dead. Game over. I win. Not fully over. We're not at the end. Channel 2 Dark. At the end of your turn, evoke the leftmost orb. That would only work if I had more orb slots. Helix Drill only works if I'm using a ton of... Hyper Beam is fun and all, but that removes focus every time I use it. It is a lot of damage to a lot of enemies, though. It would be a great final attack if I need it. Yeah, I'll take it. It's not perfect with our build, but with our build we're probably gonna need the get out of jail free card. Pale is sleeping. His snoring shakes the room. Pale is a big goopy dragon. He's a friend. And little bits of like his claw, his flesh, and other things can be taken with you as an artifact. The artifacts that he offers are essentially sections of him that he just regrows, and you get to use that as a bonus. Enchant all defends with Goopy. So, the card gains exhaust. When I play the card, it is consumed for that fight. Gone. But every time I play a block, I gain block. So my blocks will, over time, become more useful each time I use them. So exhausting a card in one fight means that I get a better card for the next. That's pretty good. The problem I have with that is that my deck doesn't have other block options. I have Fisticuffs and Lightning Rod. So if I use up all my defense, they're gone. That would suck. But alternatively, especially this early on, and while I'm having trouble finding defense, I might need that. Okay. Gain an additional energy at the start of my 3rd turn and every turn after. For the first 2 turns, I wouldn't be able to do as much. But with this, I'd be able to do a ton every other turn. That's really good. Doubles block gained from a card, then goes to sleep for 2 turns. So, on one card that I play, Pale's Legion will double the bonus on that, but then it will proceed to, for the rest of for the rest of that turn and the next 2 turns, do literally nothing. I don't know about that. Let's do the energy option. I don't want to remove options from me. I don't want to do this and that. I need bonuses. I'm not here to lose stuff. I'm here to gain. Let's go this way. It's tougher, and we can take a lot of risks along the way, but it also has a lot of healing places to go to. And if we want to bail out of the tough route, we can. Okay. This is going to be a rough fight with a character that doesn't know how to block. Oh! Okay, we accidentally did that. I didn't realize, but because we have Uproar, occasionally, unintentionally, when I play Uproar, my back pocket Hyper Beam might activate for free. Which would be pretty good, but that also means that all of my orbs will be useless when that triggers. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Hologram would be good. I can summon defense that I need out of my deck, out of my discard pile. So if I've played a card before, I can use it again using Hologram. That's not bad. Yeah. And it adds a little bit of defense, which I need, even if just by a little bit. Extra block gained from options. Attach it to Hologram. Now it's nearly the same as a defend, plus it takes something out of my deck and puts it back in my hand. That's really good. Bug Slayer. You're fending off a swarm of aggressive insects. You suddenly notice a mighty, rugged warrior man fighting beside you this whole time. The insects, sensing defeat, scatter. You turn to your fellow fighter. Would you like any tips on exterminating these pests? How polite. You nod and accept his offer. Learn Extermination Technique. Add Exterminate to your deck. Exterminate. Deal 3 damage 4 times to all enemies? Add that with Bulk Up, that's 5 times 4. What was originally a 3 times 4, only 12 damage, would become 20 damage. That's insane. That's really good damage. Learn the Squash Technique. Add Squash to your deck. Deal 10 damage, apply to vulnerable. I mean, that's good, but that's not nearly as good as Extermination Technique. Given that we're building strength, that's way too important. I see. You wish to learn the Extermination Technique. Very good. He pauses briefly, thinking how best to endow you with this maneuver. This is the technique! Behold! He boasts while holding up a can of insecticide. Of course. Okay. this or that. Arms suddenly jut out from a nearby hole, clutching clutching a suspicious bag of riches and a clearly cursed relic. This or that? A scratched up voice whispers from below. Oh, sorry. This or that? This, lose 6 HP, gain 85 or 56 gold. That, add Clumsy to your deck. Obtain a random relic. Clumsy can be removed. It's not eternal. It's ethereal. We could just get a random relic for free? Oh, hello. Upgrade 2 random attacks? What got upgraded? Oh my gosh, it upgraded Uproar. Ah, and a random strike. Whatever, I guess we're keeping the strike now. Alright. Next fight. Exterminate isn't as good right now. We haven't gotten that upgrade active on it yet. Let's use Uproar so that we're not removing passive power by using Hyper Beam. We're not going to win the fight right now, anyways. The opponent's going to hit us for significant damage. Stole Tempest from us. He's trying to buff himself, so I'm taking this turn to give myself some advantages on later turns. Okay, so Pale's Flesh gave us an additional energy, and Plasma gave us an additional energy. Use Fragment to boost all of our bonuses there. Fisticuffs gets played for free, basically. Hologram brings us Uproar, Defend, Uproar. We're still taking some damage, but I want to end this fight earlier rather than later. He's about to fly off with one of my cards. Okay, Bulk Up came up. Now we can use Exterminate. Got Tempest back. When you evoke Lightning, deal 6 damage. Ooh, that's good. Wait, no, hold on. Leap! Because gain 12 block. Thunder would help us end fights better, but only if we have everything set up. Because there's a lot of setup required in our deck, I kind of need options that's going to let me do other things. We're going to go this direction. Ooh, no. Ooh, no. Fine. We're not going towards the elite because that would kill us. Oh my gosh, why does everything require HP? Yep, we're taking the risk. And we're taking the gold, and we're leaving. We're leaving. We're leaving. Every time you play 3 attacks. Single turn, game 4 block. Great, okay, so playing attacks will give us bonuses now. Rest. Gain hit points, please. Okay. First elite fight. We need to fight 5 elites in order to transform that relic, and we haven't done 1 yet. This is our first. We need a lot of block. So let's Fisticuffs, Hologram, Fisticuffs. Defend. And now we're not taking any damage. He's gonna deal 16 damage. I could use fusion. Bulk up would be nice. Yeah, no, I kind of need it. And only gaining 5 for this exact moment, it's not enough to block that full 16. I'm still going to have to take a lot of damage. But later down the road in this fight, I'm going to need... Well... Crap. I might die here. Let me see if I can just... I mean, yeah, but that doesn't get him. And lose 3 focus. Yeah, we're dead. Man, that's tough. Yeah, we made some poor choices with how we were setting up our deck. Having bulk up at all was not great, because we were having to split our deck into multiple different options. Anyways. Congratulations, Slay the Spire! Now I have another example of a game that I wanted to play and do stuff with. So that's Slay the Spire. Moving on to the next game. I have so many games that I want to show today. I just play a lot of video games. Where is it? Oh, did I not download it? Gosh dang it. I'll bring it up. Oh, well, there you go. Got it. Cool. Alright, it's got a... No, okay. Now it's ready. We're going to switch over to Sol Sesto. Another one in the list of roguelike games that I enjoy. It might be a bit loud, so I'm turning it down a bit. Sol Sesto, the sun has disappeared. You play as a character who goes down into a dungeon and tries to fight off monsters. We're going to try and do this quick because I've been through multiple of these already, so I'm going to play a character that I kind of suck as. I wasn't planning to stream for more than like an hour or so, but it's been a hot minute. So we're going to try and speed this up a bit. So, this is our character. This is our health. This is another roguelike. You lose the game, you lose everything. Here, in this game, each time you want to take an action, you have to pick a row. On this row, there are multiple enemies that are here, and there's a percentage chance you'll land on that enemy. 25% we run into this guy, 25% we run into this guy, yada yada. You can see when we're not hovering over them, they have like a sword icon or a magic icon next to them. And our character has a sword icon or magic icon. If an opponent has 3 sword, you have to have 3 sword or more to be able to knock him out without losing health. If the opponent has more sword than you, they deal that much damage to your health. In the same way, if somebody has a magic icon, you have to have more magic than them. Or the same magic as them. And if they have more, they deal damage to you. Most of the enemies in this game are tougher than you. They can probably beat you up. They can probably hurt you pretty bad. That's just how the game runs. Solcesto makes it so that you have to pick at random where you land. You have items that can help you out. I can heal health, I can stun a monster for a turn, but if I stun a monster for a turn, if I was to stun this guy for say, what if I land on this guy instead? It's random chance. I got lucky, I got a chest, I got money. Now we have money in our little piggy bank down here. Over here is the gate. When you're on each floor, you're trying to get off of the floor to the next one, getting deeper into the dungeon as far as you can get. So you're trying to make the most educated guess with what you know. What is my best option? And what'll keep me alive long enough to get to the next place? We're gonna pop a heal. We have 4 of 6 now. Yikes. Okay. If we touch another enemy that can hurt us, we're basically dead, so I'm not gonna risk it. All of the enemies here can hurt us, but only one can kill us. The only option to keep us from dying this run, because we're gonna have to fight too many of them, I think the only option would be to risk it a bit here with a 25% chance of dying, so that we can get the strawberry and gain health. Nice. It worked out. Some enemies have this glitter about them. That's money. That means that if I knock them out, I'll get cash money. We're gonna knock that guy into stun. And because he was stunned, he couldn't hurt me when I went to beat him. And I was still able to win. I still have to clear 2 more areas, but now this floor can't kill me. Even if I hit the wrong guy, I only lose 1 health, and I'm not going to die from it. On top of that, I was basically assured to get a chest if I kept fighting. That's extra gold. Is gold really useful? It's the only useful thing. Gold is the only thing that you can save from a run that goes back to the surface for the next adventurer going in. It's not just that gold is good, gold is necessary. Attraction to magic monsters or attraction to... Yeah, we don't necessarily like magic monsters more. So this is changing the odds. Whatever the numbered odds are of you walking into a magic monster, this makes it 22% less likely that you'll run into them. But it also means 11% less likely to get chests. Definitely not. Lower 1 of my maximum health, that's rough, but attraction to strawberries means that I'm healing more often. So that lack of health isn't that bad. Plus, with this character, he's really low on everything, so we want to stay alive as much as possible. Say hi to the shopkeep. We can spend money here. It's only temporary bonuses because it only affects this run. But we also haven't gotten far enough to actually be able to send our gold up anyways. I have attacked the shopkeeper. I'm going to use his nose to smack his face. Little known trick. Doing that actually made what I just bought free, because I got to take it off the counter before they could stop me. Normally, if it's too expensive, they'll smack your hand and stop you from grabbing it. But I was able to get this because I smacked his face with his nose and got a hold of the web. However, from now on, I won't be able to do that against the shopkeep. Okay, we're in a bad spot. Yeah, so this is what I was worried about. I'm going to use the web, and I'm going to put all my money in it and send it away. If I hit a single wrong target in this, I die. Game over. But because I used the web, I got the money back. And now we can go again with the same character. That's pretty much it. Solcesto isn't that complicated. And I haven't gotten too far into it yet. Usually if you play other characters, you have higher chances. The knight has two blade abilities, which is supposed to be like, I think it's like physical combat, and it has one. He has one magic too, so he can actually handle a lot more enemies and loses health less often in general. He's pretty good. I've been doing runs as him more often than not. The warrior has extra health and also a couple other things. Other characters have movement options. You can change, instead of like going across the same row, you can say, no, I want to go vertically up and down. And that makes it less likely to run into bad targets that you can't handle. Versus the warrior can like put herself, when she hits a spot, she can either go to the spot above or below, which means then you've only got a 50-50. And if you've changed the odds even just a little bit, it's usually better than a 50-50. So her movement option is really good, and she can avoid a lot of problems as a result. That's it. That's Solcesto. It's not that complicated. It's pretty simple. It's fun. It's just plain old fun, is how I'd put it. All right. Next game on the list. If you can't tell, I love roguelikes. So a lot of these are roguelikes. In fact, all of them are. You know how I said earlier, like, oh yeah, no, a couple of these are roguelikes. We'll go through all the roguelikes. They're all roguelikes. I don't think I play anything that's not a roguelike. A game that I could show you that I've been playing that is not a roguelike would be Tunic. But if you've heard about Tunic, you should know you don't talk about Tunic because the game is secret about everything. So I'd be ruining the game by telling you about it. So I'm not gonna. You know, let's take a break from a roguelike. There is one. No, this is also a roguelike. They're all roguelikes. It's all roguelikes all the way down. Yeah, actually looking at it, all of them are roguelikes. I thought for a minute that I had one that wasn't a roguelike. It's a roguelike. So let's do that one then. I have to get out my controller for this one. It plays best this way. This time we're going to step away from cards. We're stepping away from cards. We're stepping away from stuff like that. And we're going to step into the realm of beat-em-ups. Give me a moment. Be right back. I just realized that my controller is not plugged in correctly. And we're back. fix one last thing. There we go. Absalom. This game I have been adoring lately. It is a classic beat-em-up style thing. Couple of moves, couple of dodge options. In this game, I am playing as an illegal magician. Magic isn't allowed in the kingdom anymore. But I've been using it anyways. I think it might be a bit too loud. We're gonna turn it down just a mite. And as such, we're having to fight the kingdom itself in order to make a place for ourselves in the world. It's more like they have like this religious belief that they're working for someone very important to them that they call Mother. It's near cult-like, which is a bit weird, but it's fiction. Just throwing rocks at them. Get myself some gold and keep moving. Did I not go that way? Okay. We're fighting a leadership that has a king of an empire that has removed all magic, and we're fighting to get magic back to the people. I don't have to explain this game all that much. This is the game. You go in, you beat stuff up, you get cool things.
The Underking guided ships to safe shores. But now, under Azra's rule, open borders are no more.
That's Mother. Let me see. Ritual of Water effects increase by 10%. Next ritual offer will also feature water option. All received attacks have a 5% chance of being evaded. Ooh. Nah,
Even the smallest thing can help.
I don't get hit. Why would I get hit? That just means that I'm bad at the game. Hold on, I'm pulling something up. Okay. This is new. Alright, well. This game is a lot more fighting for fun, doing this and that. I've been hoping to find somebody else who would play it with me, honestly, because this is supposed to be multiplayer, and it can include a couple of allies here and there. Ooh. Splash Bubble burst damage, plus 25%. Nice.
Comes the ocean.
I've been enjoying the water upgrades, because having bubbles that stop opponents, and then also pop to deal damage around them, and on them themselves, pretty good.
I should take this opportunity to sharpen my blade.
The characters are fun and interesting. The kind of dialogue that you get from each of them. You can play as multiple different characters. I just happen to like this one.
That'll do.
You're constantly healing here and there. It's not nearly as bad as the other games where it's like, okay, well, I'm dying. Oh no. This game has a lot more options where you can heal, where you're able to build things up, and opponents aren't necessarily going to beat you up just because you didn't set up the right combo beforehand. If you're good at the game, you just don't get hit. Speak of the devil. It seems I'm not very good at the game. Okay, let's see if we can... I want to see if I can down combo up. Nope, okay, no, I'm letting them hit me. Focus up. I'm getting several different attacks. I'm getting my regular 3 combo on the ground, my Y, my special. I have my magic ability, which is the Draconic Ascent thing that you've seen. But also, I can hit in the air to get a different ability. And use my Y from the air for something different as well. Dodging like this avoids me getting hit, and if I hit something, it blocks it. It doesn't just dodge it, it stops it entirely, which is handy. Critical hits, deal 25% more damage. Multi-hit or target attacks deal additional... I don't know that I'm going to be able to do that. Whetstone might be helpful, but I don't have multi-target attacks. I don't.
Draconic Ascent!
Oops. I went to dash and instead Draconic Ascented. Got him. That opponent was blocking, but because I get the water bubble at the end of one of my things. Oh shit! Oh, I missed story. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just kind of like ignored it. That sucks. And because of the bubble, even though he would have blocked an attack, he didn't. The bubble shows up whenever I use my Y attack. So I'm specifically trying to find openings to use that so that I can get the extra water damage and other bonuses. Give me the boar. I wish to ride. Get it. Get him. Boar rider. Launched enemies spawn 8% of a managed. I kind of just want to keep doing water stuff.
Gives, the sea takes.
Because every time I get more water stuff, I'm just getting boosted things here and there.
We fight again. I must.
Okay. This is the first opponent that I've ever fought that's like a boss, and I lost against him last time. Got rid of his shield. Damn it. Damn it! Didn't realize he could do an upward attack like that. We're just gonna ignore you for a minute. Gather the mana that I got. Dodge out of the way as you hit. Shit, that's a grab. Okay, well. No! Come on, man! Dude, fight me straight! Okay. I just need to move to another area in order to avoid that entirely if he doesn't.
For each mighty foe defeated, you grow stronger, my child.
Okay. So what is this? Dark Grip. Grabbing an enemy does damage over time and generates mana. Greatly increase all damage by 40%. But split damage among all targets hit at the same time. Okay, so it's better hitting a single opponent as opposed to one, because it doesn't deal individual damage to one target every time now. You're dealing that damage spread out across everybody. A single attack that deals 200 damage would then deal 100 damage to one target and 100 to another if you hit both. But if you hit only one, it deals 200 damage. As an example. That's not actually how it works per se, but that's kind of like what I'm getting from it. Energy over time and gain mana. Grabbing an enemy requires me to walk up to them. It's kind of tough. I do tend to focus on single opponents. I'd like to just improve my damage all around. That sounds awesome.
Mother made a pact to turn this into a place of sanctuary. No violence here.
Yo.
Your kin has no place among us, wizard.
The village is in flames and our reserves are dwindling. We cannot afford to lose more lives thwarting a child of Uchawi, Warmaster.
What if the Crimson Order learn of this? We swore an oath.
Root Sister's magic is not to be taken lightly either.
Looking for a mercenary?
He's right. You should listen to him.
War is the only thing we can sell nowadays.
Aww.
Contract
Yeah.
seems to be in order. Lead the way.
Baldwin, huh? A pleasure.
Welcome. Please enjoy our bouillabaisse.
Huh. Very cool. Okay. Okay. I've never been in one of these before. This is nice. And we have a friend. Baldwin, hello.
Pleasure to see your glistening coins.
Well, you're honest, at least. Mount benefits from rituals when it attacks. Ooh. So my bonus, yeah, that's really good. That would make mounts actually worth it some of the time when they normally wouldn't be. Getting on a mount after you've upgraded yourself enough doesn't make sense, because, like, if I get bubble skill, big burst, mana bounce, all of that together, then it wouldn't make sense to be able to then get on a horse and ride it instead of doing other stuff. Punish? Which move is that? I don't know which one's a punish, so I'm not sure how that helps.
This
But the
one
runic
has a
saddle
story
makes
to
sense.
tell.
Let's do that.
I know you. Your name escapes me for the moment, but I do know you. That's unexpected. We need silence. Focus.
Ooh, I think that's a
Each
character you
tower
can play as.
host a legion of the Crimson Order and stores the tributes for the Sun King in its vaults.
The Sun King being the guy who banned magic and took over the world and hurt a bunch of people. He calls himself the Sun King to make himself sound nice, but he's quite the tyrant.
The trees of Grandery are nourished by the magic seeping through the earth. Their wood is sacred to the goblins and invaluable for Azra's dominion.
So, we don't like the trees? That's a first.
Access to the mine is closed by order of the Council of Stonedale. Leave now or die. For the Tea Tribe!
Oh, I had control over my character way earlier. Get wrecked. Very interesting. Hold on. Is there something down there? If I go around this way... What's
Something
here?
is missing. The elevator won't move.
But we can get it working. Whoa! Nope. Prevent him from using his special thing. His grab is nasty. That thing can really kick your butt. Okay. Oof. Okay. Yeah, and that cart was preventing me from moving. Get out of the way before it bursts. Oh my gosh.
That could prove useful.
We are really low health. I might lose this run soon. Still have the axe. Let's keep that. Oh, oh, oh. Get off the bridge. Get moved. Go. Shit. They're still coming. Okay. We gotta move. Ooh, okay. Okay, okay. I really gotta practice my defense in this. If I'm dodging more, I'd probably be fine. Thank you, Bodwin. Lifesaver. Kept the other guy at bay while I was fighting the others. Dude's a Chad. Look at that guy holding his spear like that. Pure confidence. Oh, they're forcing them this way. No! Never mind. It's okay. Bodwin will be okay. He's so good at fighting, he could
Death
beat
is just
anybody.
another step on your journey.
And so, Mother's gonna revive us. We got a new high score. We actually made it further than we ever have. We've beaten a boss. We get a couple of bonuses from her.
The deepest roots burrow beneath the reach of the frost.
And that's the game. I've only played a couple of runs. Any reason you'd like to help me turn the assist mode? Pause menu. In multiplayer, each player can adjust their own level of assistance. Now go. Free the magic and bring life back to Talon.
Uchawi is not my mother, you know. Mine has been slain by the Crimson Order. I can't be reborn anymore. My body is breaking, not my spirit. I will make sure you can hoist our flag in the end.
I like playing this character, so I'm gonna keep upgrading her. Galandra's pretty cool. We brought back some crystals. Can I not? It says that I only need 20 of 30? Oh, but I spend them on these. Okay. And now it lets me through. Okay, and we have to spend another 30 somewhere. Additional mana on hit. Plus 20 damage on punish. Plus 25 damage for companions. Rare trinkets have a plus 3% chance of dropping. Yeah, let's do that. And then extra damage is always welcome. I want more companions. I'd like to have the excuse to do that. Start each run with a Mother's Grace that revives you with 25% of max health. Nice. So yeah, there's the other game that I wanted to show. There's some other stuff around the base that you can look at and cool things about this and that. Yeah, no, she is another character. Awesome. I guess we'll try to meet her at some point soon. But for now, I think I've spent enough time streaming. I'm pretty darn set to quit. I did most of what I wanted to do today. I just wanted to show off games that I like and stuff that I've been doing, like I said at the beginning. I'll probably play some more games at some point whenever someone goes, "What's that?" and then I can't explain what it is. I'll probably just stream it at some point and show off the game for what it is. I don't play anything outside of roguelikes mostly, but maybe if I play a puzzle game again, I'll probably stream that when I play it for the first time. There's a bunch of puzzle games that I've played already. Those aren't roguelikes, but playing them would ruin the point, because then I'd be showing you how to resolve a puzzle so that you can play the puzzle game. And at that point, why would you be playing the puzzle game? I still might try and see if I can find a way to do that, but I might make that a video instead of a stream. But for now, I think I'm about done. Thanks for watching. For anybody who does watch this in the future, I don't see anybody who's currently here, but don't matter none to me. It is what it is. By this point, I've already learned that I don't really get a lot of people on streams. But hopefully you found this somewhat entertaining. I don't know how to make joke stories and be funny, goofy. So most of my commentary is just gonna end up being, here's how the game works, and here's what I'm thinking. And hopefully that was fun. But yeah, thanks for being around. Anybody who sees this, later.